Imagine spending your entire life building a town, only to watch it disappear. Not because of war, not because of disaster, but because somewhere else became more successful. Right now, hidden beyond Austin, Texas, communities are quietly vanishing. And the reason why reveals something unsettling about the future of America. Austin is often called one of America's greatest success stories. Tech companies arrived, money poured in, the skyline exploded upward. Thousands moved here chasing opportunity. From the outside, it looks like the American dream, but every success story casts a shadow. And hidden inside Austin's shadow are places where that dream quietly died. Drive less than an hour away, and you'll find empty storefronts, forgotten neighborhoods, factories that haven't produced anything in years, buildings frozen in time. At first glance, it looks mysterious, but the truth is far more shocking. These places weren't abandoned by accident. They were abandoned by economics. For most of American history, small towns were the backbone of the country. Railroads created them. Factories sustained them. Agriculture fed them. Entire generations built their lives here. Then America changed. Factories moved overseas. Automation replaced workers. Industries collapsed. Jobs disappeared, and when jobs vanish, people follow. A town doesn't die overnight. It dies slowly. One family leaves, then another, then another. The diner loses customers. The hardware store closes. The school shrinks. Property values fall. Investment disappears. And eventually, recovery becomes nearly impossible. To truly understand how brutal economic progress can be, we have to look at a single coordinate in the Texas brushland. A place called Thurber. In the early 1900s, Thurber wasn't just a small community. It was a booming, high-tech industrial powerhouse. But it had a dark catch. It was a company town. Every single brick, every church, every saloon, and every home was owned entirely by one entity, the Texas and Pacific Coal Company. It was one of the first towns in Texas to have full electricity. Thousands of workers lived here, digging millions of tons of coal to fuel America's trains. It felt invincible. But in 1917, the earth shifted. The company struck oil just a few miles away, and oil was the future. Almost overnight, the very commodity that built Thurber became completely obsolete. The corporate response was ruthless. They didn't just close the mines. They ordered the entire city to be boarded up, dismantled, and literally sold for scrap metal. An empire of 10,000 people, wiped off the map, not by war, but by a corporate balance sheet. Today, all that remains of Thurber is a solitary, giant brick smokestack, standing alone in the desert, a silent tombstone for a city killed by progress. The full story of how a single corporation built and then completely erased an entire civilization is so insane, it deserves its own documentary. If you want a full, dedicated deep dive into the dark secrets of Thurber, let me know in the comments below. But Austin changes everything, because these ghost towns don't exist in isolation. They're sitting next to one of the richest growth stories in America. From one hilltop, you can see the future. From another, the remains of the past. If you're enjoying this story, subscribe, because some of the most important stories in America aren't happening in Washington. They're happening in places almost nobody is looking. The people who left weren't chasing luxury. Most were chasing survival. Better jobs, better schools, a better future. And when enough people make the same choice, entire regions transform. Austin grew stronger. Nearby towns grew weaker. Neither outcome was planned, yet both became inevitable. And this isn't just Texas. Versions of the story are unfolding across America. A handful of cities attract more money, more talent, more opportunity. While thousands of smaller communities struggle to survive, the divide is growing, and it's reshaping America in real time. Look closely at an abandoned building. You're not looking at decay. You're looking at interrupted lives, dreams, families, businesses, memories, stories that were never supposed to end this way. Yet not everyone believes these places are finished. Remote work, tourism, historic preservation, renewable energy. New opportunities are emerging. The question is whether they'll arrive in time. Austin's skyline tells one story about America's future. These ghost towns tell another. One story is about growth. The other is about loss. And together they reveal a truth hidden behind every economic boom. Progress creates winners, but it also creates people left behind. The empty streets surrounding America's fastest-growing city aren't just reminders of the past. They're warnings about the future, because the next ghost town in America might not be where you expect.